Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me this morning for Storytime with Rob. Today is a very special day. It's Mother's Day. And I've been thinking a lot this week about my mother and all mothers. And so I wrote this tribute to Mother to share with you today, particularly my mother. And here we go. What can be said about a mother? They nurtured us before we were born. Remember that? We were 100% solely dependent on that one being to bring us into this life. Our first breath of life was with and because of her. Our first meal, first bath, first diaper change, first embrace, smile, tears, fears, and hope were all first experienced with and because of a mother. Think about it. When as a child we fell and skinned our knees or bloodied our nose or even had our feelings hurt in some way, we had two options. One, we could go to our dads and hear him say to us, "Suck it up, toughen up. You're okay, just rub some dirt in it and get back out there." You all know what I'm talking about. Or we could take option number two. You can turn to Mother and have her pull you gently into her arms, wrap you in her warmth, squeeze you tightly and whisper in your ear, "Oh, that's so terrible. Are you okay? Let me look at that." Softly reach down and then kiss your boo-boo, pat you on the head, and then embrace you once again and say, "Wow, that must have really hurt." Then she would disappear for a moment and come back with a warm, damp rag and a Band-Aid and encouraging thoughts as she leans over and rubs your wound, then says, "If you like, you can come inside with me for a minute, or you can stay outside and play with your friends." Well, suddenly this didn't seem so important any longer. As you embrace one last time, you then run off to show your friends your battle wounds, knowing full well that Mother has once again worked her magic. Even to this day, when the phone rings and it's something truly important in our kids' lives, something they need to work through, an ear to hear, a comforting voice of reason and compassion, it's always Mother's phone that rings. You see, it's unconditional love when it comes to Mother. There is no other way. No matter what they tell you, all mothers are good cooks. They make you comfort food, and they will always serve you the best portion before they ever eat their own. And if there are ever leftovers, as much as they really want to eat, they always give you first shot at it, because that is what they do, and that is who they are. They will bake and cook all day, and when you catch a whiff of that glorious food and your mouth begins to water, you ask, "What's for dinner?" She will oftentimes reply, "Son or daughter, sorry, but this is for the Joneses or the Smiths." You see, they just lost a loved one, or had a baby, or lost a job. And, well, that's far more important right now. Mothers are mothers to all, not just the immediate family. They look after friends, neighbors, and even strays. They welcome the hungry, the poor, and the helpless because, well, that's what they do. That's how they are made, and they know no other way. You see, mothers are masters of all things. They are clothing specialists, fashionistas, Martha Stewarts, financial planners, botanists, private tutors, speechwriters. They are sous chefs, interior designers, travel agents, professors, peacekeepers, activists, barber and hairstylists. They are fierce protectors. One always learns in life real quick, never get between a mother and her cubs. They're physicians, gardeners, time management specialists, psychiatrists, comfort and happiness providers. And many do all this while holding down a full-time job and career. Because that's just how they are made, and they know no other way. Mothers often think their roles are minor, humdrum, not that exciting. They will often ask themselves, do I even make a difference? What did I even do today? What is my purpose in life? Well, I have great news for you, mother. I have not forgotten. I am just now figuring it out. You see, mothers most often work behind the scenes. Birthdays, holidays, 4th of July picnics and barbecues. Things you never think of just mysteriously appear. Laundry gets thrown in a pile and poof, shows up in your drawer neatly folded or on your bed, or heaven forbid, they make you fold it yourself. They prepare for every emergency, always have a backup plan, a go-go gadget purse, cold drink in the fridge, ice cream in the freezer. They always have a little something hidden neatly away for just such an emergency, should it arise. Candy in the drawer, a sucker in the secret hiding place. You see, they never stop thinking, planning, and preparing, because that's what they do, and that's who they are. I now know many of the sacrifices that you have made on my behalf. The late nights you stayed up worrying about where I was. The times you worked through school problems with me. Late night visits about friends, girlfriends, boyfriends, school, work, relationships, and even money. You would wait for me at practices, events, or dances. Doctor appointments. The extra $20 you'd slip in my pocket without me knowing. Times you were less thrilled with my behavior and used my full name when you addressed me. Also, being the only one on this earth who can use this line, I brought you into this world, and by golly, I could take you back out. Then making my favorite chocolate chip cookies later that night. Surprising me when you actually know the people on my favorite football team and their record that year and what the coach should be doing to fix the problem. And it actually was the right call. Mothers show genuine, real interest in something I really wanted to do, even though they themselves had absolutely no interest in it at all. You knew that it meant something important to me, because that's what they do, and that's who they are. You've always had my back, unless I was in the wrong. And then you used it as a life lesson far greater than any professor in college could ever teach me. Truth be told, most of the greatest accomplishments in my life could and should have your name on it right next to mine. All while being my biggest fan, my greatest cheerleader, my strongest supporter, even when I lost. Oh, the countless hours you have spent on your knees in prayer on my behalf. Praying always first and foremost for my well-being, long before your own comforts and needs. What can be said about a mother? Well, I have the best of both worlds. You see, because I not only have the greatest mother on the earth today, but I am also married to one of the greatest mothers on the earth today. I think it best to say that they are quite possibly the closest thing to Christ on this earth. God cannot stay with us here on our journey through this life, so he gave us a mother. I love you. I love you, and I'm so grateful for all that you've done for me. All you mothers out there, have a wonderful day, and until tomorrow, be safe.